lines. If I press a button on my phone, I'll be able to see how many people I've saved twice or thrice and be able to collapse them into one. Are you telling us, IEBC, that you have no such capacity or technology? Who is to answer, Chairman, or one of you? Marjan. Because if you have somebody registered 38 times and is still in your register, then it's a terrible indictment on IEBC. Given the successive budgets you have been given to upscale and upgrade your technology.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity to provide clarification in this specific area. First of all, verification of register of voter is clearly defined that it is a fact. Registration of voters is clearly defined that it is the fact that voters present themselves to IEBC for a period of 30 days to go identify their biometrics, to make sure that their biometrics are working. We give 30 days for the purpose of verification. We have not reached there, but by the time we complete the register of voter, then the voters will be given an opportunity for 30 days to go and verify themselves. Where there are going to be issues, they are going to be addressed there and then. The issue of double registration, Chair, it can happen, especially if we are doing offline, but it does not mean that those records are going to remain like that, because we do the process of deduplication. In deduplication, we use the biometrics to make sure that we've got only one unique record. What Honorable Member is referring to is the report of the auditor that basically shows that there was somebody who basically registered 34. It is true, but it's only one unique record that basically remained. The rest are actually deactivated. That is why when you say, do you have a system that can be able to identify? The answer is in affirmative, yes. And what is basically presented there is only unique. The rest are basically deactivated. So it is possible if we are doing offline, but if we are doing online, it cannot happen. This time we are basically doing online. We are not doing offline. Previously we did offline. We are using the BVR kit. Nowadays we are using the KIMS kit, and we are not doing offline. We are doing online. We are connecting to the central database directly, and therefore duplications cannot happen. Thank you very much.
Yes, Hassan. Come, Kunji. Give Hassan the mic.
Thank you. I just wanted to come back on that, the number of voters. For example, I have stood 4 times, been elected 4 times in my constituency. The number of voters in my constituency is stagnant. It's 125,000 or 128,000. But only 90,000 or between 85 and 90,000 vote in every election. So the question is, who are these other 30 to 40,000 who never turn out? Are they dead? Are they people who have registered doubly? That has never been answered by IEBC. So I think they really need to look at this inflated registrations in some of the urban centers, in which where this could be abused. Maybe someone else is using the dead person's ID number to come and vote. So they need to look at that. And then one point that has not been answered is about the issue of violence. I was blown up in an assassination attempt before a general election. My opponents probably wanted to knock me out, but I survived. But no investigation has been done with the IEBC or any of the institutions to find out who did that and what are the lessons learned so that we protect others from similar situations, just as Mheshimiwa Kaluma has said, that we are not dealing with violence during elections in the serious way that it needs to be dealt with, because the violence perpetrators get away with it, and they can do it in every election because there are no costs, there is no punishment, or there is no deterrent. So I think the IEBC must take the issue of violence very seriously.
Thank you. Chairman? Yes, I thought you had indicated that we stop here. Now I see many hands. Yes, Mishi, record.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I just wanted to ask the IEBC if they have a mechanism to verify those names which have been given through the party list before they guarantee those people for nomination. I'm asking this because I've seen in several areas that somebody has been nominated to represent person with disability and yet it doesn't have any disability. Somebody has been nominated to represent gender, a position for a woman, but a man has been given that position. A position has been nominated for a youth.
Gender doesn't mean woman.
No, yes, yeah, gender, it depends.
Yes.
For the arithmetic, it can be a man or a woman. If a chance is for a man, is a man. If for a woman, is a woman. But a chance for a woman, you see a man has been given that position. And so many other reasons. Somebody representing workers, and yet he has not been nominated organization for the worker. So what mechanism do you have to ensure that those party list names you are given, you verify those people even before you accord them those nominations? Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Member in a red jersey, is that Bowen? Who? Bowen? Bowen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I just want to make a comment, especially on how the IEBC, they are working on to make sure that their register is integrated with the births and deaths system, so that where there is deaths, Honorable Speaker, in between, the system should be able to delete automatically that voter from the voter register. So I don't know if their systems, the IEBC systems, are integrated together with that systems. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Parashina.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Through you, I would like to just ask a simple question. You have really given directives on legislative issues, but the presentation of IEBC, they have talked about the issue of budgets, or they might want to be given to them. If we live here without knowing that whatever they're asking was okay, based on the argument from our chair of budget, it means that up to now, IEBC, they don't have enough allocation or money to carry out the election process, which for the public interest, a simple question is, those gadgets that are needed, anything that is needed before elections, is it available now for even the officers to be able to interact with the system or items to us to have a credible election? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Kombe. Don't go back to your elections, ask something else.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my question is a very simple one, but it's somehow confusing on the other hand. The possibility, Mr. Chairman, the possibility of a candidate getting 0 in his own polling station, that Mr. Speaker, is really disturbing me. It happened twice, and I don't know the cause of it happening twice. 2007
For
and
you
2017.
For you?
For me.
You could have been the only voter and you spoil your vote. But we leave it to... Yes, Posing? Posing?
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker, for seeing us at this end. I think you have a strong eyes, and we thank God for giving you those eyes. Speaker, can IEBC be present all the time? Honorable Speaker, the common mwananchi only hears, and particularly our voters, so that they can also be engaged in this voting process together. So that during the voting, they know some of these things which we are being taught now here. Only mwananchi can hear about IEBC during election, either by-election or general election. I want to urge you, Speaker, and the chairman who is here, that can they continuously do civic education on the ground so that IEBC is not only known during election, and all these matters, we educate our Kenyans together so that our election even reduces to become a bit cheaper, Honorable Speaker, because of the suspicion reduces. When the Kenyans are aware of what they are supposed to do, suspicion reduces, and maybe the numbers that they are going to use to facilitate that election might reduce. Can IEBC engage people every time, Honorable Speaker?
Mawade.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Hold on, Mawade. Who has a point of order?
Madam.
That is? Member from Boni.
I'm not member from Boni. I'm Mr. Mboni. I'm David Boni.
Rural, sorry.
Speaker, I'm just wondering because I've been trying to catch your eye. And Honorable Kaki was here.
Who?
Honorable Lecho Kaki, Nyamai.
She's your neighbor. She's
Yes.
the one who has run there.
Yeah, she was here. And she told me she cannot give me the mic for reasons I know. Me, I don't know the reasons. So, and now, Speaker, now even you now, you are actually jumping me. I've been here even before Hussein was here. Yeah, so I don't know.
Member for Kitui. Rural.
Yes, can I ask my question?
You are casting aspersions on the chair and you are out of order. Take your seat. Take your seat. Mawade.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Protect me from the shouting around here in front of me.
Your neighbor from
thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, to the IEBC, the voter registration that is currently going on, it's only happening at the headquarters of the constituency. There is need to spread this to the polling centers, not even the wards. Some of the polling stations from the center is quite a long distance. So there is need for us to take that back to where it normally is so that we can get additional members, please. Voters, thank you.
Thank you. Who is the member? Borabo.
Thank you. I was here before. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mine is just one question to the IEBC. Is there any specific law that bars you from printing ballots locally? Is it that we don't trust our institutions? No, even of MCA, because, Mr. Speaker, I believe it is the trust deficit that we have and suspicious minds. Is there any law we can print for MCA?
Thank you, Osero. Is that Osero?
Yes.
Thank you, Osero. Yes, Polo.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question would be just to the chairman that I'm a very worried member that if the chairman himself keeps on repeating himself and saying he thinks, now who is going to give us a comprehensive and concrete issues about IEBC? Because he kept on saying he thinks. Now that it is very clear that they do not have enough cash, are we expecting a credible election or not? Thank you.
Mwingi Central.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there are some civil servants who have declared interest in some positions, including the position of your session chair. There are civil servants who are campaigning with the public resources. They go with GK vehicles, they go with county vehicles, with a lot of money. and that is against the code of conduct. You are supposed to resign 6 months before campaigning. So what is IEBC doing about it? Thank you.
Thank you. Member raising his hand. I can't see you clearly.
Mr. Speaker, this is your truly Mule Stephen Matungulu. Mr. Speaker, thank you for this opportunity, and I want to ask the IBC chair if he can explain to us why do you have delay or transfer of results from the polling station transmission with the current technology globally? What are they doing to make sure that Kenyans can finish their voting at 6 in the evening? Now by 9, we have results from polling station transmitted to Kenyans. Why, Mr. Speaker, this is very important, is to clear the suspicion which has battled us for the last 3-4 elections in this country and create confidence with Kenyans. Their votes are not tampered with the following day. If they clear that, I can assure you, Mr. Speaker, we'll have the most peaceful transition of election 2027.
Chairman, can you now answer that? Who is that with the Tarabush? Bedsimba.
Yes, sir.
Bedsimba.
Asante sana. Yes, boss.
Go ahead.
Asante sana, Mheshimiwa Speaker. Swali langu liko la kwa mwenyekiti ni siku ya uchaguzi. Siku ile ya uchaguzi wanasema kwamba kila chama kiwe na agenti mmoja ambaye anaangalia kura 6. Kwa nini ama ni sababu gani inawazuia kwamba kila mgombea awe na mtu ambaye anamchungia anamwamini? Hiyo ndio swali na kwao nawapatia.
Nashukuru, Chairman. I think now we have taken virtually everybody. Can you respond to all those? Some are overlapping. Some are on the same issues.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think I'll attempt to answer, but I can also give to some of my colleagues. Yes, okay. There was a question around the register, and I think that has been asked by Honorable Hassan. I think there is a process through which we handle the register. So at the moment, since we resumed the voter registration at the constituencies, then once we do the mass voter registration, we want to capture as much data as possible. And then, of course, going forward, there are those processes that are provided for in law. We will need to do the verification of data by the individual voters. We open that process is open. But also, the register goes through audit by a reputable firm, which will check now for us the register to ensure that we clean it properly. But more importantly, the register is a public document, and we publish the register. By the time you are going to your elections in Kamkunji constituency, for example, we have a register specific for Kamkunji. And that register, the one we publish in the Kenya Gazette, must match with what we have in the KIEMS kit, the Kenya Integrated Election Management System, the digital register that we will use during elections. And again, it's a consultative process that political parties need to be active players in it. Individual members of parliament need to pay particular attention to it, so that at the end of the day, we have a voter register or a voter's roll that meets the integrity tests, that can be verified, that is acceptable to all Kenyans. And that is what we will do this time round. So we urge you to follow and be active as we undertake the voter registration, but also the verification and the audit of the voters' roll and the final publication. On the issue of dealing with violence, honestly, I don't think IEBC alone has the solution to this menace or to this very unfortunate thing called violence in our electoral system. So as stakeholders, as we IEBC do our bit to enforce the Electoral Code of Conduct, let us also do our part. And if it means strengthening the law, please let us strengthen the law. If it means enforcement mechanism, if it means creating that specialized unit within IEBC to police the electoral environment, if it means giving us the prosecutorial powers, let us think outside the box. Let us do something about it. For now, we will continue lamenting, we continue sharing our sentiments, and yet it is us, the leaders of this country, that must do something about this phenomenon. So please let us think about it, because I believe this was a dialogue, an interactive dialogue for us to share our ideas on how to make things better. The party list, I think Commissioner Nderitu, you've interacted with this thing for many years, and I do know, again, there is a procedure for which political parties do their nomination or the party primaries. There is a procedure within which they decide who to put in the party list, and there's a process through which we publicize and we publish. So I think Commissioner Nderitu will explain in response to Honorable Mishimboko's question. In terms of linking our registration process, Honorable Bowen, I think. You know, in Kenya, we have various registration systems. When you are born, you registered as a child born in this country. You are issued with a birth certificate. Then when you attain 18, actually by the time you report to your nursery school, you are registered again as a nursery school pupil or child, ECD. When you move to primary, again you go through another registration process. Junior secondary, senior secondary, all the way up to university. In the process, you attain 18, you are registered as a citizen, again issued with another document called the ID. You qualify to drive, you are registered again, you are given another document called the driver's license. All with different numbers, with different serial numbers, different expiry dates, and all that. So I think as a country, again, let us rethink the manner in which we register our populations, the manner in which we register our citizens, so that then if we can harmonize, then we will eliminate some of these costs. It's not that IEBC we would like to spend taxpayers' money, especially given the constrained physical environment, on registering voters. If we can have a system, one system, that can guarantee us that by the time you attain the voting age, automatically you are registered as a voter in the country. And I think other countries have done it, and we can borrow from their best practices. But we need to harmonize that with the changes in law and, of course, practice. So at the moment, we are actually working on that MOU so that then our systems can read one another, so that we can share data. And of course, there are other systems as well. But if we harmonize that in terms of the legislation and practice, then we will eliminate those costs and the inconvenience around that and ensure integrity of the register. Honorable Parashina, my brother, I believe you have spoken about the issue of timely resources and the adequacy of the resources. So, Mheshimiwa, that was my appeal the whole afternoon, that whatever we need, if you can provide us on timely basis, so that if it is undertaking procurement, we do it on time. If it's the kits, we get these kits on time. And you know, in Kenya, of course, one of the major risks we face is this litigation left, right, and center. The moment we start major procurement like this, there'll be people, vendor wars, and all this. There's this whole ecosystem within the city, and these are the challenges we need to look at, even as we plan to provide funding and to support the Electoral Commission. Of course, issue of printing ballots locally. You heard when Mheshimiwa was asking this question. Of course, not all of us support it. And if you put this question to Kenyans, again, people have different opinions. And it all boils down to that issue of trust. If we trust ourselves so much, we can print these boxes, ballot papers in the country. But if we are still suspicious about all these possibilities, then, of course, we need to have ballot papers with more security features and printed outside the country. And even when we print these ballot papers outside the country, we've had situations where sometimes we have to fly in, we have to ask the religious leaders to accompany our team to go and witness the ballot papers and hopefully pray for them, so that then we get the right papers that are blessed for us to guarantee that the electoral process and the outcomes will be credible and acceptable. So there's that issue which we must continue working. And sometimes trust, trust is not something you can walk to a supermarket and purchase. Trust is something that you build right from yourself, that you trust that being in this room, you are secure, you are safe, that going to